Hello and welcome back. The word mystery is used 24 times in the Book of Mormon, and it's also frequently used in the Doctrine and Covenants, and most people don't actually understand what the word means, although they may feel like they do. When people think of mysteries of the gospel, they think of things for which there isn't an immediate answer. For example, what is the importance of Laban's sword, or did Adam have a belly button, or where and how do dinosaurs fit into the picture, and where exactly is Kolob, and will insects, mushrooms, and microbes be resurrected, and if so, what will that be like? And the list goes on, and what are we supposed to do with those kinds of questions? We read in 1 Nephi chapter 2, verse 16, that Nephi also wanted to know the mysteries of God. Here's what he said. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, being exceedingly young, nevertheless being large in stature, and also having great desires to know of the mysteries of God, wherefore I did cry unto the Lord, and behold, he did visit me. So when we read that Nephi wanted to learn about God's mysteries, we might feel justified in spending time studying gospel trivia or theorizing about things for which we have no information. But as used in the scriptures, that's not what the word mystery means. If we go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it gives us the familiar modern definition of mystery as something not understood or beyond understanding. But then further down, it also gives this definition: a religious truth that one can know only by revelation and cannot fully understand. When I was a university student, the campus library had a large dictionary in the reference area that expanded on the definition of mystery. Paraphrasing, and this was the primary definition, by the way, it said, something that can only be truly understood by experiencing or receiving it in the same spirit in which it was originally given, and after it has been learned cannot be fully explained to another. And that definition of mystery, a religious truth that can only be understood by revelation, was how the word was used in the 1820s. But then in 1841, Edgar Allan Poe wrote the short story Murders of the Rue Morgue, which was one of the first detective stories ever written. And then later in the 1800s, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle introduced the world to Sherlock Holmes. And thanks to the popularity of the Sherlock Holmes stories, the word mystery became a synonym for a puzzling crime or an enigma to be solved. So the definition of mystery at the time Joseph translated the Book of Mormon was the religious definition, a religious truth that one can only know by revelation and cannot fully understand, or something that can only be truly understood by experiencing or receiving it in the same spirit in which it was originally given, and after it has been learned cannot be fully explained to another. So when Nephi said he wanted to learn the mysteries of God, he wasn't expressing an interest in gospel trivia. He was saying he wanted to learn those truths that can only be learned through the Spirit. We can learn a little bit about this concept and definition from the Catholic Church. And if you're Catholic, please let me know if I don't explain this correctly. I found an article that discussed the 20 mysteries of the Rosary. And these 20 mysteries are concepts on which someone can meditate while praying the Rosary. They are divided into 4 categories. You have the joyful mysteries, such as Gabriel's visit to the Virgin Mary, the luminous mysteries, such as Christ's baptism, the sorrowful mysteries, such as the suffering in Gethsemane, and the glorious mysteries, such as the resurrection. But going back to the definition of a mystery being something that you can understand but can't explain, well, how does that work? Usually, in my experience as an engineer, if someone can't explain something, then they don't actually understand it. So how would a religious mystery be any different? Let me explain in a way that I think will make sense. Learning gospel mysteries seems to be similar to learning a foreign language. Most languages have concepts that cannot be fully translated into English. Portuguese has the word saudade, which is a feeling of melancholy or longing for somebody who is absent. Italian has the word tormentone, which is a song that plays repeatedly. Spanish has ganas, which can be translated as urge, desire, motivation, but In any of those cases, if you were to talk to a native speaker about those words, they would say that the English translation doesn't really capture the full meaning of the word. To understand the words of a foreign language, you have to immerse yourself in it, surround yourself with it, practice it a lot, and as you do, you will eventually begin to make connections or uncover shades of meaning that you didn't understand before. But even when this happens, even when you understand the concept, you won't be able to fully translate the meaning to someone who doesn't speak the language yet. Learning the mysteries of the kingdom, as Nephi wished to do, or even learning about the temple, for example, is like learning a spiritual language. There are no shortcuts. You have to immerse yourself in it, surround yourself with it, and then, to use the phrasing of the Doctrine and Covenants, when the conditions are right, the doctrine of the priesthood shall distill upon thy soul as the dews from heaven. And then you'll find that you have an understanding that you can't explain to someone who hasn't had the same experience. So in Doctrine and Covenants 8:11, when God says, ask that you may know the mysteries, or Doctrine and Covenants 76:7, when God says, and to them will I reveal all mysteries, yea, all the hidden mysteries of the kingdom, he's not promising that he'll eventually answer your trivia questions. He's saying that through his Spirit, you'll be able to more fully understand the basics. Let me know what you think. Did you know this? Was this helpful? Was this disappointing? Let me know in the comments, and we will see you next time.